Hey y'all, good to see you as always here on the channel. I just got down here to the big garden and I thought I would update y'all on the corn gluten that we put out, and I am not impressed. I don't know what happened. You know, we put out 2 or 3 bags down here and I don't see any weed prevention whatsoever. Now I was hoping to film before Dad plowed this side up. He brought the bottom plow down today and just flipped this part of the garden over so he can plant his collards. But yeah, so not super excited with that. I don't think we did anything wrong. I mean, we applied it just like we were supposed to, but I mean, that is a lot of weeds popping up. So you live and you learn. But I was talking to Dad a little bit this morning about this raised bed idea. I'm trying to get him to sign on to it because it would be so much easier for him. But I also drove to the 10 yard this morning. It's going to be pretty expensive, so I think I'm just going to have to slowly build a couple as I can, and hopefully he will see how well they work and we can put a bunch of them down here. I just think it would be so much better for him and everybody. I think it would look good. It would just be easier, but it is what it is right now. But I'm thinking, I've got an idea. We've got these big, huge plastic containers up at the landfill that we'll ride and look at in a minute. I want to bring at least a couple down and see if we can't recycle those big old, I mean, they are humongous plastic totes. They had some type of resin pellets in them. That's what they used at the factory. So let's go take a look at those, see if we can't recycle and reuse those pots. At least get something down here elevated and just get us out of this darn weed zone. So guys, I thought I'd clarify just a little bit. When I say I'm going to the landfill all the time to get stuff to recycle and reuse, this is our main business right here. So this is a construction and demolition landfill that's on the property, the same property that I live on. So when I say I'm coming up to the landfill, that's what I mean. So right over here in this area is where we pull out a lot of materials that still have some use to them. And I'm gonna really watch my step walking through all this mess, but these huge pots, I'm really sketchy walking through here. I do not like snakes, and well, that scared me. I stepped on that metal rack and it moved. All right, yeah, that I was going to get my tractor to come over here and grab some of these, but the tractor that I want to use, they're doing an oil change on it right now, and we might just have to get them this afternoon. But I'm going to get up on top of these big concrete culverts where I feel safer, and these are the giant pots that I'm talking about. They are super thick, they're very heavy, but what I'm hoping, if I can get Dad to sign off on it, we take some of these down here, we can cut the bottoms off of them to get them whatever height we want, and then plant these over by that fence line. I don't know if he's gonna sign off on the deal or not, but I think it would be a good use of these things versus just throwing them away. Y'all ever just have one of those Mondays? Today has been a complete disaster in like every respect of the word. Everything I have touched today has just not worked out right. There's gonna be days like that, man. I mean, I'm not even gonna go into what all went wrong, but if it wasn't employees fighting, then I almost run out of diesel in my truck in Carline picking my kid up. I get home to make tacos, the stove breaks. It's just crap like that. It has like been non-stop. The phone hasn't stopped all day long. Anyway, it's almost dark, and it's a beautiful afternoon. It's really peaceful and quiet. There's a few storms building off to our south. I don't think they'll make it to us, but I figured what we would do is come out here. I want to see how much more. Oh, by the way, check out our moss. It's coming in the stone pathway, turning green. Looking good. All right, don't get sidetracked, right? I want to dump the bags of soil that we brought down from the nursery. We've got our Espoma Land and Sigh. I've still got a few bags of the Bloomin' Easy. And then I also brought down, I can't believe it's chicken. So that's a manure compost. And I want to top dress the whole entire thing. So we'll put that bag on last. But I just want to at least see how many more bags of soil. We shouldn't need too many more. We've got these, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then around there in the wheelbarrow, I've got 2, plus the bag of I can't believe it's chicken. But the reason I'm still filming, even though the sun is going down, is because I hate like trying to go into the next day and then film and try to tie it all together. So I filmed a little bit this morning. That's what you guys just watched, and that's when I stepped on that grate and it scared the crap out of me. I thought it was a snake. Turned the camera off, and as I'm walking back on those big concrete culverts that you saw, a red fox takes out of one. Freaks me out, scares the living daylights out of me. I fall down. That's the kind of day it has been, but it's almost over. And I just want to put my hands in some dirt and plant some plants. So hopefully we have enough light left to at least do that so I can get this video out to you guys. I'm telling you, sometimes. All right, let me shut up about my day. Let's get in here. Look how much these volunteer Roma tomatoes have grown. We're gonna rip all those up because they're not gonna be able to produce before it gets too cold. So I'm gonna rip all this stuff up. I'm uncertain. Now I gotta figure out, I need to go get a bucket. Here we go, we'll get us a bucket. What I was gonna say is I'm uncertain about this watermelon. Y'all remember, if you've watched any of the past videos, we got this watermelon in here and it is flowering, but I just don't know if we should leave it or pull it up. But I gotta get in here and get all these weeds up. Here's some of the onion tops I just kind of threw in here after dinner the other night. I don't know, we're mid-September. I think the watermelon's gonna have to go, guys. There's no way he's gonna have time to produce us any fruit. Plus, he's gonna just take over this whole thing. So, unfortunately, he's gotta go. Let me see if I can come in here and pull up all these weeds real quick like, and get this thing somewhat cleared out. The smaller weeds I'll just leave because we're gonna bury them and they can turn into food for the veggies that we're gonna plant. Probably not gonna plant any today, but at least if we can get the soil in this bed, we'll know how much more, if any, we need to bring down. And at least if there's no earthquakes or I don't just fall out of the bed, at least we'll have gotten something accomplished today. This crabgrass has been popping up in the yard everywhere. And we even have, this is some of the trumpet vine growing on the trellis behind you guys. I don't know how it got over here, whether it's seeded or if it's roots. I hope not, but it's possible its roots have made its way into this bed and it's shooting up some root sprouts, but I hope that isn't the case. Got a bunch of portulaca in here. Squirrels have buried some acorns. And also, I don't know if y'all saw a while ago or not, but I take eggshells and I just kind of crumble them up and I just put them all down in the bed. These will break down and add calcium to the soil. All right, I think that's good enough. We got up the majority of the weeds, but this daggum potato that we threw back in the ground the other day has gone insane. I gotta leave him. He is absolutely beautiful. And then here is our tomato transplant that we did a video, I guess it was about a week ago or so. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this little sucker right here, prune him up. So we'll see what he turns out to be. And then I used some of our chili de arbol in a dish last night. I cooked some quail and chicken and dug up some onions and threw some of these peppers in there, but they're a little spicy for my taste, I ain't gonna lie. I bit into one and it lit me up pretty good even after sauteing on the grill. Here's some of our leftover veggies from the green stalk. So we're just gonna put them right there because we're not gonna plant today. Got the green stalk down there, it's doing good. Let's go ahead and cut open few bags of this Land and Sea and see how far it goes. This Land and Sea has lobster and crab meal, and it's just a good all natural compost additive. The soil's real good, but since we straightened the bed up and raised it up, I want to add some soil and get the soil on up a little bit higher up on the boards. I'll just go ahead and slice them all open while I've got my knife out, and we'll just go ahead and get them dumped out. I really like this Land and Sea. Not only does it have all of the microbes in it, but it's just a nice chunky, good draining mix. We're just going to walk up and down the bed, try to get it incorporated as good as we can, spread it all out. And I forgot to cut this one last bag. All right, let me go grab those other bags of Bloomin' Easy, and then we are almost out of light, guys. All right. There's our 2 bags, Bloomin' Easy, and of course, my knife is dull. Doesn't even want to cut the bag. But we did manage to at least get some kind of a hole created. We're going to mix this all in as well. And look at there, guys. If it's not too dark to still film, we got something accomplished today. I don't know, the camera looks pretty dark. Who knows how this video is going to turn out, but I appreciate you watching it. I really do. You guys have been awesome to me. Read a bunch of your comments early this morning and replied back to them, and just hanging out with y'all makes me feel better. But I'm gonna call it today. I'm gonna go shower, drink a beer, and I'm just gonna go straight to bed and hope nothing else goes wrong today. We're gonna get a good night's sleep, and we're gonna try again tomorrow, because that's all we can do. The more you know, the more you grow. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next video, hopefully.